Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus the Riven Realms. We're gonna go explore the tomb that we learned about, the Wayward Souls quest. But before we do that, I was looking around in here. I have not looked at these leadership perks in like forever. But I was kind of thinking I should get access to the command one. It allows us to use resourcefulness to have advanced actions in crew combat, particularly if we could do like a better makeshift barricade or any of the things we use regularly, really. And then enhance is use resourcefulness to raise the success chance of tests and events. We already kind of do that, but maybe we can do that better, perhaps. And then I was thinking exploit would be nice if we find ourselves in a situation where we're like, I really wish there were better contracts here to take stuff somewhere. That would be an option as well. So I think I'll do that. And then, before we dive into the temple here, let's camp. We'll just have our people scavenge around in the desert. But before we sleep, we need to come talk to Sidarius and get a blessing from him. Because I have to imagine we're going to fight. Whoops, I didn't mean to ask you about the triumvirate. We're gonna fight ghosts, or I have to imagine we will. And Ailani got her health back. Fantastic. Now we have full movement. That's good. Seek out the arcane tomb. You follow the account in the Antares journal to locate the arcane tomb. Hopefully you will be able to find it with ease. The utter silence of the Valley of Sleepers is only disturbed by the noise your Comitatus makes as it trudges along its bottom. Here, a winding gap leads to a sort of intersection where the canyon of the valley proper crosses a smaller side passage. Huge brown-hued walls of rock tower on each side, and there, hewn into one of these sheer cliffs, you spot it, although it is not easy at first. A carved entrance leads into the rock, cleverly designed to be almost indistinguishable from its surroundings. From what you have learned from Antares' journal, this must be the arcane tomb, where both of the former Scythicnus expeditions were headed. It is time to assemble a team and venture inside. I thought this... maybe that is us. This place is huge. Let's assemble our typical team. And confirm. That's creepy. You enter into a narrow but high-ceilinged antechamber. The air inside is cool and dry, and the dim light coming from outside, you can see lines of strange cuneiform adorning the walls. This must be the writing of the old Verosians, but as far as you know, there are not many in today's Riven realms who are able to read it. There are no intersections or side passages, so your only option is to head down the single corridor stretching before you. As you do so, you suddenly hear a sizzling sound like drops of water falling on a hot surface. Turning around, you see a bluish haze emerging from the soil in front of the entrance, covering it almost instantly. As you probe it with your palm, it feels solid to the touch, and also unbearably cold. It must be some kind of supernatural barrier or defense mechanism, but the one thing is certain: you will not be able to leave this place as long as it obstructs the entrance. Was this the reason why the former two expeditions did not make it back? We could attempt to dispel the barrier, but I think we should just descend deeper into the tomb. Like, dispelling the barrier, sure, but maybe we do that when we get back, or maybe we don't even have to if we kill the the demon at the center of the maze. I don't know. There are several small arched indentations in the aisle's walls, most of them containing ornate urns. As you progress along the corridor, a mist rises from the earthenware containers, pale blue, just like the spectral barrier barring the entrance of the tomb, and begins to take shape. A coterie of ghostly apparitions slowly materializes before you, assuming a vaguely human-like shape. One of them points a translucent finger at you and speaks. Is there a ghost in this picture? Apparently not. Although the spirit uses a long-forgotten language, you understand its meaning. We got enough magic sense. Hell yeah! Once more the living come to spy on us. The specter's words hiss in your mind. You won't succeed. Suffer final death now. What about second death? Pippin? With that, the specters lunge forward. Stand your ground to avoid final death. That's funny. Oh, there's only 3 of you. I've fought so many more of you. You guys are a joke. All right, who's first? Looks like it's this guy at the back. I don't think they can attack from the back, actually. Dang it. I was gonna say, so let's try to smoke this, this spectral ghoul back here. Yep, I thought they couldn't. I think we should try to gas bomb. Wow, I don't know if you can gas bomb a specter. Just shoot this one. Rats. Alright, don't stab anybody. Okay, you stabbed Sidarius. That's fine. Swing. Well, we got the one I was hoping to kill. And then let's just throw down our wards. How rude. Oh, you got smoked, son. Dead. They're already dead. Dead. They suffered final death. How about it? With a forlorn sigh, the last of the specters vanishes into nothingness. After catching your breath, you continue along the corridor, and after a while, come to an intersection. The main aisle goes straight forward, but to your right, there is a smaller passage leading into inky darkness. Let's explore the passage to the right. I was gonna say, I want treasure. You enter a moderately sized chamber, which appears to be some sort of side crypt, perhaps reserved for less distinguished members of the people buried here. The walls are lined with vaults of urns, but more importantly, on the stone floor, oh no! There lies the corpse of a half-elf woman and a handful of mercenaries. Judging from the body's state of decomposition, they could not have perished long ago. There are no visible wounds on them, but their distorted faces suggest they suffered great anguish before they passed. A burned-down torch lies beside the woman, and it seems she used her last moments to write something on the ground using the char. No crozier, flee this tomb. The handwriting, although untidy, looks familiar. You have seen its like in the Antares journal. At least you know the fate of the second expedition, but despite the warning, you cannot turn back, not with the ghostly barrier still blocking the exit. Your companions quickly collect the valuables from the bodies. Yes! Treasure! It seems you must press forward into the tomb's inner chamber. We got another crystal lamp, hell yeah! Simple jewelry and a survival kit. And some money. 1, 2, 3 money, in fact. The corridor goes on for quite a while, and you begin to wonder just how deep this tomb is. Finally, you spot an arch in front of you, which seems to open into a larger hall. Hopefully the crypt's innermost chamber. As you trudge forward, you suddenly stumble upon something lying on the ground. Looking down, you see a bundle of amulets tied on necklaces and knotted together. From the Antares journal, you instantly remember the mention of trinkets like these, given to the expedition by the dwarf called Kadzarn. But if they were meant for protection like the journal suggested, why were they thrown away so carefully or carelessly? Yeah, let's arcane lore them. The amulets are made of bronze, fashioned to be oval in shape, and there's nothing that jumps out except for a single glyph in the middle. Your group inspects them from every possible angle, and you can almost instantly tell they are imbued with magic, most likely of the sympathetic kind. You are not exactly sure, but the impression is that they were meant to convey some sort of information about their wearers to their maker, or someone who has a counterpart trinket. What information exactly eludes you for the time being? So they weren't protection amulets. I suspected as much. You step into what is undoubtedly the beating heart of the Arctican tomb, a huge chamber with urns, glyphs, and cuneiform along the walls, as well as a pedestal stocked with ornate sarcophagi. It is literally a place of death, for besides the requisites of ancient burial, a pile of fresh corpses lies on the ground in front of the platform. Judging from their attire, they were all agents of the Scythicness, most likely the members of Yuknar's and Antares groups. The cause of their demise cannot be discerned as there are no visible wounds on them, but all their faces are horribly distorted, so the likely culprits are the specters haunting the tomb. You do not have time to fully take in the sight when a light blue mist begins to swirl around you, seemingly coming from the darkness itself. Eerie shapes take form, just like when you entered the accursed tomb, and again they speak to you in their twisted dead tongue, and again their strange words ring in your mind. Thank God we have enough magic sense to understand them. Still you strive, mortal. They moan in a single voice. Still you wish to rob us of our secrets, but look what you wrought. The specters point at the horrific pile of corpses in front of the sarcophagi. And why? Don't you see that all our wisdom, all our secrets only ended up cursing us? In this unlife, what you desire? Leave us! Leave us! And then the undead come, floating across the chamber to attack you. Defeat the specters. They brought a Bone Lord. Begin the fight. Alright, Ilani? I don't think you can stun ghosts. Dang it. Let's shoot that guy again? I put him into a good spot. You should never attack the ones in the back row. Just let them hang out back there. Hit this guy. Ah, man, we can't hit nothing for nobody. I hit somebody. Which one did I hit? This guy, okay. Well, he's dead now. And then leave that guy, or wait a minute. Wow. This combat has gone way worse than the first one. Skeleboy, you're at the back, so don't attack him unless you have nothing else to do. Hey, good job, one down. There we go. And then let's try to kill this guy. He lived, but barely. Maybe get lucky? Okay, it worked. And then Gorgoro got a little health back. Could have been worse. Yeah, Blessing of Unbinding whenever you come into the Tomb of the Sleepers, for sure. When the battle is over and the last specter vanishes, you take a look around. The crypt is silent. Nothing to explore here, no further passages to examine. The pile of corpses speaks for itself. Your mission was to find out what happened to the former 2 expeditions. In that, you succeeded, so why loiter any longer in this forsaken place? Nah, we gotta explore for sure. Without having any exact idea of what to look for, you begin to search the corpses of your ill-fated predecessors. It is horrific, disgusting work. With the help of your companions, you untangle the death pile and search for clues, notes, anything. You find nothing, and then you proceed to examine the room's more remote corners. Whatever this crozier of Meleketh is supposed to be, it is certainly not here. To start with, this place clearly was not designed to hold any artifacts. It is but a grave, however elaborate it is. So why did this Githicnus send anyone here, including you? At the back of the pedestal, you find another bundle of amulets, discarded just like the ones before. Take a look at the amulets. The bronze amulets are quite plain, almost perfectly oval in shape, and with a hole in the middle, through which the necklaces are threaded and a single uncanny symbol on each of them. Your group inspects them from every possible angle, and is this not the exact same thing? They're imbued with magic. The impression is they're meant to convey some sort of information. Most likely information about the wearer's physiological state with special regard to whether they are dead or alive, or something in between. It also seems that these amulets link themselves to the bearer's very soul, and could be used by the original maker to locate these souls in the material world and beyond. But for what reason? That is not something you can learn here and now, so you decide that it is best to leave. Maybe you should ask some questions when you return to the Githicnus Covenant. As there is no other way to go, you and your companions thread back to the way you came, hoping that the ghostly bear has dissipated after you vanquished the main chamber's specters. And fortunately, so it did. Whatever foul magic held it in place is now gone. Relieved to be free of the tomb's depressing gloom, you stumble outside with your companions and rejoin the Comitatus. Well, alrighty then. Huh. They clearly wanted to kill those people for some reason. Yeah, we just have to go report our findings. Okay. Let's camp out. We'll pop into the outpost. Actually, we could force march our way to the outpost. We got full stats. How'd it go? Good news. Get your obedience better. I don't know how to make these people happy. You bozos. Oh, we're just like slightly under the foraging requirement now. Well, I don't have any scouts to give them, so we'll just have to make do. Should I take their salt? Do you guys have more salt? You don't. Okay. All right. At ease, gentlemen. And we're gonna rest here for tonight. There's a worker here? Get out of here. Why are you in here? the dude be taking up my monies. All right, everything seems to be going well. Continue on, team. We should rename this. I just realized you can name it. Ben's Cool Salt Spot. Does it show up on the... Yes! Oh, that's so dumb. I love it. Thank you, devs, for allowing such a weird thing to occur. All right, back to Salem we go. We're going to report our findings, and I've done some research. I believe I know how to start, or at least the steps to start or continue the investigation into the what's going on in the salt flats here. Oh, whoops! I did not mean to spend. I didn't realize that. Whoops! That's how you use that. There you go. We've unlocked a new thing. That's actually cool that you can discard specific quests. Like you can discard the trade tasks and the other one. Fascinating. We don't want passengers. And then kick this worker to the curb. Get out of here. We would like 3 scouts. Is this gonna put us over our limit? 1, 2, 3. It did not. Fantastic. All right, we would like more supplies. We're running low. It's gonna be expensive, but we have so much money. It's fine. Sort that, and then I think we would like to ditch our other beast of burden, and then buy the horses. And then we need to go talk to the Scathicness people. So let's go to the Covenant House. Purchase permits that allow... So this is how you do this, is you purchase permits that allow you to mine salt in the basin to the north. You go here. It was recommended you buy 10. It doesn't seem like it matters, but I think the reason you should buy 10 is it takes a couple times mining in the salt to maybe trigger the event. So let's buy 10 tokens, leave the office. Do you have imbued masks? You do. I own 10. But I would like to buy them in bulk. Let's buy like 15 more. So now we have 25. I don't know how many, I think it's like 3 per day. If that's true, I should buy 30. I don't know if that's entirely true though. All right, we got 30. Just in case my memory is actually correct. There's no guarantee that's actually true though. So let's report our findings about Ycknar and Antari's expeditions. You recount your search and finding of the expeditions of both Ycknar and Antari, then hand over all evidence collected along the way. Journal, amulets, personal belongings. The Archmage and the dragon are visibly upset about the agent's horrifying fate, but there is nothing to be done now. Are you gonna like track down that dwarf? The tomb turned out to be a death trap, but what you uncovered is disconcerting beyond that. It is unfortunate what happened to those expeditions, but that is sometimes the fate of those who are courageous enough to delve into forsaken places. Sardaukar and I were not the ones to initiate the operation, and we shall look into this thoroughly, I can promise you that. You sense only quiet, perhaps worried contemplation from the dragon. Then you ask them about the crozier and the amulets that tapped into the life essence of the wearers, and the actions of Kadzarn the dwarf, who seemingly sent Ycknar and Antari to their deaths. The Archmage and the dragon look embarrassed. How does a dragon look embarrassed? The dwarf in question had been an agent working for the Covenant, but disappeared around the time you were sent to investigate the matter. The dragon's thoughts are decidedly solemn. He was meddling with foul necromancy and other cursed arts, not how true seekers should be. Kadzarn sent the explorers to the tomb to learn more about their transformation into the dreadful undead you have encountered. His deplorable actions were discovered too late, and now the lost lives weigh heavily on our conscience. The Scathicness abhor acts such as this misguided dwarf committed. Admittedly, we should have paid more attention to this matter, including how we sent you after the disappeared explorers, Inarath. Inarath? Yeah, that's the Archmage. Adds apologetically, and believe us, we considered you to be more than capable to deal with whatever peril you awaited. We have no idea how Kadzarn's involvement until very, very recently. Still, please accept our apologies, as well as our sincere gratitude for dealing with this incident. As promised, the reward is fitting for such a remarkable effort, Inarath adds, and you are presented with a box of valuables and trinkets. Ooh, Dragonstone, and we got a hell of a lot of rep with them. Sick. Are we higher A higher tier reputation now? I guess we finished the quest. I thought they were going to send me after the dwarf. Hold on. I wonder, can we ask them about what the development of our outpost? 10 workers to reinforce, 5 stacks of timber. Do I need timber? The outpost. We do! Well, I'll be. 50 bros? Dude, that's pretty sick. It takes 15 rep, but we just got 50. Yeah! Another 5 stacks. That's kind of cool. How many? Is it 8 timber in a stack? Wait a minute. Timber. Is that raw material? That would make sense, right? 10 units. Okay, 2 stacks. Or two orders. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know you could do that. What's the other one? 10 workers. Nah, we don't really need workers. Arrange for the Dragon Guard to look out for your outpost. Huh. It does take a lot of reputation to do that, so no thank you. Very neat, though. I'm also interested in the stuff we just got. It was a large energy crystal and a dragon stone. I don't know if the energy crystal is really like only useful for Nadir. Maybe Garrick. What do you got, Garrick? Bronze owl pendant. Accuracy is pretty useful for Garrick. But what's the dragon stone? Clairvoyance, initiative, and evasion. And it adds perceptive, but it sucks away your power, and that's not really what we want. That might be good on Aelani, because Aelani's kind of like a dodge tank. What does Aelani even have? Amulet of Protection is Vitality and all resistances, and then Vitality and Bleed and Poison resistance. Does this mean she can't use her... She's got no power regeneration. But she can still use stun. She's got 6 out of 6 power. Let's give it a chance. Evasion and initiative could be pretty good. And she's perceptive. And then what was the other one? Energy crystal? Large energy crystal. Oh, Ren's already got one. We could counter her power loss. I don't think that matters as much. So we'll leave that alone. Let's go ahead and rest. We don't have much movement left today, so rest. Yeah, use your people. Get our vigor back up. Success! Huzzah! Okay, and now let's see if we can't trigger the next phase of the quest here. I think you're supposed to... It's either this one or this one. But let's start with the closer one. This area is controlled by Scythicness. Send the crew to prospect it in exchange for permission tokens. I don't think it matters where you go. Looking around this area, you see brigades of miners here and there, mostly in Covenant colors, but very little actual prospecting happens. Scythicness Dragon Riders circle the skies and overseers check on operations several times a day. There's no chance to harvest salt here without supervision, and soon enough, an official riding in Ifriane shows up to check your permission. She explains you can pick between a handful of areas designated for prospecting. Con Ardith's Expanse, the site of the famous rogue Kalrish chieftain's exile, is now a mine with many quarries. To the east are that of the Eastern Hordes, an old disposal place where now salt harvesting has opened up, and while further east are the ascending terraces where the arduous ascent out of the basin begins. 2 tokens, 3 tokens, 2 tokens. Let's try the Eastern Hordes. The crew gets to work. Make preparations. Have your workers work imbued face masks. Okay. And now... Yeah, 4 crews with hourly shifts per the recommendation. Sure. There goes our movement. Something ought to go wrong. I love that response. You watch for signs of dehydration, but it is almost undetectable, and so your miners faint occasionally. This is not true. You can definitely see when people are suffering from dehydration. Source: I've been reading a book about dying in the Grand Canyon. So, spoiler alert, a lot of people die from dehydration in the Grand Canyon. Also, a lot of people die from overhydration in the Grand Canyon. So, think about that. Have two others carry him back to the camp to rest. Sure. Day is concluded. Could have been better, could have been worse. 4 salt. Sweet. You managed to keep your crew from being parched, and you settle down for the night. That went pretty well. A lot of vigor lost, though. Let's hope we generate vigor randomly. Heyo. Oh, you dummy. One of your komis ends up wandering away from the camp during the cold night, perhaps delirious from the salt, perhaps for some odd reason of his own. He managed to slip away into the inky darkness without anyone else noticing. Your komis find his desiccated corpse a stone's throw from camp. Nothing to be done about it. That's enough mining for now. The Comitatus departs. Pack up and find another site to mine in this area. Continue mining. Yeah, let's find another site. And let's move over here, maybe? Yes. Excuse me. Oh! We found the pit. I didn't realize I needed bright kelp to mine over here. Decide not to mine salt today. All right, we will go back. We'll go back over here. I'm sorry. Let's the expanse. Sure. Make preparations. Have your miners. Okay, it only takes 1 mask per day, so that's pretty nice. We're set for masks forever then, or at least for a long time. Hourly work shifts. Something ought to go wrong. A handful. Oh, I think this is the thing that triggers. This triggers the quest. Ah! Okay. A handful of miners drag themselves by your worksite in the early afternoon, probably making their way towards Salem. Upon inspecting them, you can see that something is wrong. They look weak and sickly, with strange boils covering parts of their bodies, much like burns. Their pale, wizened form shakes the crew's morale immediately. Offer to treat their wounds? Let's try this. It succeeded. Sickness emerges, added to rumors. Quality added, unfortunate miners. This is how you start the secret below. Something, whatever. Whatever I titled the episode. That's what the quest is that we're working on. All right, you escort the miners to a place in your camp and have them examined. It appears that there are burn-like boils all over their skin. Their eyes are bloodshot, they are pale, and they can't seem to hold down any food. It looks rather like some kind of poisoning than a disease. After administering remedies from your own medical supplies, they are ordered to rest. They thank you, claiming to already be feeling better. One can only hope that they will recover in a timely fashion, as their condition did not seem incurable or very serious. While they are being treated, the miners share what happened. One of the least affected miners recounts what happened. They were mining salt on the east side of the old plateau like many times before. Then all of a sudden the ground started to shake as if a gargantuan creature was moving beneath the salt. Sandworm? Saltworm? Oh god. I'm having PTSD. They heard strange metallic noises, and an invisible force knocked them off their feet. One man swears he thought the calamity was happening all over again. They fled the site and camped out on the flats that night. That is when the sickness struck. First only one fellow got ill, starting to vomit excessively, then another and another. Then the burns appeared on their skin, accompanied by nausea and terrible headaches. 2 of them succumbed to this disease already, and the rest were trying to return to Salem, hoping that the scythickness will help them. They tell you where their camp was, but warn you against going there, even though something of value could be left among its ruins. They leave soon before dawn, intent on reaching town as soon as possible. Your day is concluded. It is a good yield! +5! Heck yeah! Alright, our vigor is slowly dropping, so we definitely want to go back to town today. Ooh, we found news of the decimated camp. An unfortunate salt mining crew had a horrifying experience on the east side of the old plateau in Bryn Mawr. After a sudden earthquake, an eerie gale of force knocked them down and decimated their camp. Then they got sick and most of them died in a few hours. You know where to find their camp if you wanted to look into this. Reach it from the old plateau to the northwest or valley directly north from Salem. That is enough mining for now. Back to town. Let's look. We don't know. The old plateau to the northwest or the valley directly north from Salem. Like here? I'm not 100% sure. We'll figure it out. But let's go back to town. We need to get our people kind of rested up for a little bit. Inspect. Show them stuff. Let's visit... Wrong. Let's visit the other house, Ratharnak. Let's sell them our salt. Sell more salt? I'm stupid. I did not mean to sell them all the salt I had because some of that salt is special salt. Oops. Oh well. You know what I'll do is I'll just reload from the camp save and then we'll pick back up in Salem with the episode next time. So that's my bad. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more episodes of Vagrus, the Riven Realms, or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your notifications on so you know when the next videos go live. But until next time, everybody, I hope you had a good one and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.